Welcome to the Jann Arden podcast with Caitlin Green and Sarah Burke. Hello. That's free. That's a completely free jingle that I'm going to provide every week. Hey, Caitlin. Hey, Sarah. Tell me, how are you guys? You're at home. You're in your homes. I'm in my home, and no one is sick.
Caitlin, are we?
Well, okay. I had to listen back to the show last week, and I was like, I knew it. I tempted the universe because we recorded on what, Monday? Or was it Tuesday?
Yeah. It was early in the week last week.
It was early in the week. By Wednesday night, I kid you not, I had called 911 because of my son's breathing. So I was like,
Christ.
I listened back and I'm like, ha ha ha, I don't have any illnesses and the summer's been better for this, like complaining about my pimple. Meanwhile, I wind up calling paramedics because he went to bed very not sick.
Oh, this is scary. We're not
scary.
laughing. We're laughing out of sheer nervousness. What the fuck?
Well, I'm laughing because it ended up being fine and the story is sort of funny. But so he woke up, he went to bed, he had a little raspy voice, but he's been having a really busy week at daycare with his friends. And I thought he was just excited and yelling and had a raspy voice. No fever, no runny nose, none of the usual things.
Son, wait till you start going to the bars.
Yeah, precisely. So then 1:30 a.m. hits and he wakes up crying, which is unusual. And when we go into his room, he's going like, like that like crazy
Scary.
sound. It's super scary. So I think he swallowed something. I think there's something obstructing his breathing because even when he's not doing the gasp, it's like a sound. There's a sound of whistling. So I think maybe he shoved something in his nose. Who knows what the heck toddlers do? So I call 911 because I'm like, I have no idea. And man, tax dollars hard at work. We had 2 police constables at 1:45 in the morning in our unit within 30 seconds of me calling 911. I mean, I was like, were you guys parked downstairs? And then they sent out, the paramedics must have heard like a toddler struggling to breathe. So they put out what's called an echo, which means that it's anyone in the general area. So everyone responds. So then I look like an insane helicopter mom because what's happened is my son has developed a virus overnight. And so paramedics show up, the firefighters show up, the police end up leaving, the paramedics stay, Will gets to go sit in the ambulance for a minute. They decide he's fine. Basically, I wanted to confirm there was nothing blocking his airway. And and we think he probably had COVID because we saw 2 doctors after that. And there's a current strain or a recent strain, I should say. I don't know if it's the most recent one of COVID that is presenting like strep. And his poor little throat was so sore that he was holding his saliva in his mouth and he wanted to spit it into a cup because his throat was so sore last week. So it came and went really fast, thankfully, but he was home with me.
Sorry, my cancel. My headphones keep.
Oh, because Jan has, for everyone not watching us on YouTube, Jan has the new AirPod over-the-ear headphones.
So I am touching something, and it keeps saying, "What is your query?" I mean, it's obviously not talking to me, but this tone comes on. God damn it!
I'm like, why is she yelling cancel in the middle of Karen's story?
Well, that's what I wanted to yell at my phone.
But I had this fear of doom. Like waiting for me to fucking ask it a question. I'm sorry, Caitlin.
Like when Siri starts spinning, she's like, I'm listening. Can I help you?
Yeah.
Anyways, he wound up being fine, but he was.
Okay, good.
So to the point of last week's recording, I tempt fate, and then he winds up home with me for the whole damn week after we recorded.
No.
He was fine. We watched a lot of movies. Together. It was really cute, though.
The moral of the story is never say you haven't had any kind of illnesses in your home without having a large log to tap on or a wooden table because you were in. No, Poppy, that was me knocking on the table. He thinks somebody's here.
We're a hot mess this morning.
Well, I'm glad Will's okay. And I'm also glad that there's an edit feature on this program because we have spent an inordinate amount of time trying to convince SIRI to leave me the F alone.
Jan has been screaming cancel at us for the last 5 minutes.
She keeps coming in. Like, I'm telling you what,
intrusive.
AI is a scary thing because it's cutting my headphones off. Anyway, we've been on air now for 90 minutes. You guys aren't going to hear the 90 minutes of me screaming at my computer. But anyways, that really is disconcerting. With Toronto traffic, I'm mind boggled that the ambulance was there as quickly as it was, or the first responders. Shout out to first responders.
I know.
They have got so
always.
much shit going on right now, but I'm grateful that they showed up for young Will.
And they were
and
lovely.
that he wasn't.
Oh, They were so lovely. They were so lovely and reassuring. And it was clear from all of them that they'd had a heck of a night the night before, because we were trying to make small talk while we were waiting for all of his tests and stuff. And we were like, so a busy night. And everyone collectively goes like, not like last night. And we were like, we weren't going to ask for privacy reasons what happened in the city the night before, but it sounded like it was a rough go. So yeah, Jan, they're busy, but they're sweethearts and good for them. And maybe they were blowing off some steam. Maybe some paramedics were blowing off some steam at your wine show.
How is Kelowna?
Yeah.
Kelowna is the Canadian Riviera. So I would liken it to probably cottage country in northern Ontario when you get out of the city, that 3-4 hour drive. You know, Ontario is so many lakes, so much beautiful, like untouched forests and lakes, and it's stunning. So in Kelowna, it used to be this sleepy little retirement town when I would go there as a kid with my parents. It is now super yachts, houseboats. The Okanagan Lakes go for hundreds of kilometers. They wind through the Rocky Mountain Basin. And I don't know how many people are living in Kelowna. I would have to say upwards of 300,000 or 400,000 people reside there.
Let's find out.
It is spectacular, and it's wine country, so very much like Ontario. Once again, you're dealing with Quails Gate and Mission Hill, and I mean all these independent family-owned wineries that are in a desert. It's an arid desert in that basin, and they're growing some of the world's greatest grapes. Anyway, Mission Hill hosts a series of summer concerts. It is set way up high on this hill. If you check my Instagram, you'll see a band picture where you can see what looks like a fake backdrop. And it is
like it's real.
The Okanagan Lakes, and it's the stage. And I think there's 600 or 700 people, 600 or 700 tickets. It's a small event, but it's kind of like in a natural little amphitheater. And it's grass steps. Danger grass steps with any kind of a heel and alcohol of any description. But it is a winery. They sell packages with dinners, lunches, whatever, and a lot of wine. There was a lot when people are walking down grass steps, kind of grasping 6 glasses of wine in their hands to bring to their friends. About
what's this 40, I heard about a mosh pit?
Well, 40 minutes into the show, I started singing Insensitive. 50 minutes. It's at the halfway point. And these 3 women plowed down the side of this grass hill and came down to the front of the stage. Thank God there was a hedge, a very large, thick hedge that was about 4 feet high, that literally was in front of where they'd put the stage. So it was a natural barrier. It was God's barrier. Jesus made that barrier.
A security hedge.
Yes, it was a security hedge. I did not see. Oh, I did see security people. They were somewhere, but they were not helpful at this juncture. And so people had been drinking, I would say, since 5 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock. So well on their way by 8:45. 200 people came down this hill. God. And they were on the grass in front. They were, taking selfies. They were singing at the top of their lungs. It was joyful. I was sitting there going, never in my 15-year-old mind did I think that people, predominantly women, there was a few guys in there that I think had been reluctantly dragged by their girlfriends or their wives. But they were singing all the 90s stuff, right? At the top of their lungs.
Oh, yeah.
Pure joy. Drunk. But the PA was such as that we could not get ahead of the crowd and how loud they were singing. So I couldn't really hear what I was doing. At one point, I look over at Chris. He can't, I'm running a teleprompter. He can't really hear what the fuck I'm doing. We were in different spots, and I just stopped singing at some point, and the crowd just kept singing. There was a woman right in front of me, and if you're listening, ma'am, she had her back to me, and she had her camera up. She was trying to take a selfie
video.
So of her with me in the background singing away. But she kept kind of backing up, and she was drunk. So she was trying to assess, oh my God, the camera's going the wrong way. And she finally got it. Well, she went into the hedge, and I never saw her again. She went into the hedge.
She didn't fall in the security hedge.
She went into the security hedge. She did not pop back up. Her friends that she was with acted like they'd never seen her before in her life, and that she had just disappeared without. So I was like, with love and light, laughing. Yeah, with love and light. May God's grace be with thoughts and prayers to you. And
love it.
Chris was laughing so hard I couldn't look at him, and I had stopped singing. I just stopped singing. I'm like, I can't hear what I'm doing. We'll just let them carry on. And it was joyful. I mean, everyone was having the time of their lives. So, huge thanks to the Mission Hill people who treated the band, everyone like gold. The food that they brought everybody, I was so jealous because I don't eat before a show. I had some nuts and I was feeling extremely sorry for myself. And these guys were having this these 2 meals because we had lunch and dinner there. Well, they did. And it was an unforgettable evening, and one of those evenings that will be etched in my memory until I drop dead, of how loaded everybody was, but having the time of their lives. And, it could have been every political background in the world there.
Mm-hmm.
They came
and
together
for
the
moments,
Mission Hill Mosh.
Yeah, we've talked about
Mission
that.
Hill Mosh, title of ab. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah,
well, it's like
like
day drunk on wine is a level of day drunk that is hard to reach, especially at a certain stage in your life. But if the sun is out and you've had a couple bottles of rosé, at that point, like, you will fall in a hedge and you will sing along to Insensitive at the top of your lungs, and you will probably have the best damn afternoon of your life. So
very
I love
eventful. That was great.
I'm jealous I wasn't there.
I know.
Well, Shameless Al, who's been a friend of the show, and she's on the show. She was on the show a few months ago. She was there with a girlfriend. She had just wanted a couple of tickets, and I was happy to get her some tickets. And she was in the mosh pit. So some of her feed showed her. She's like, I was one of the moms in the mosh pit.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And she had her wine, and I really enjoyed watching her story. When we drove home, I was able to go on to Shameless Al. If you're not following her, you should. She's hilarious. She's political. She's acerbic. She's smart. Mm-hmm. She's beautiful. She's kick-ass. But anyway, I enjoyed watching her story from a bird's eye view of what the fuck was happening in that mosh pit.
You got to rewatch your show from a different vantage point.
I thought, should I body surf? No, Jan, don't body surf.
Well, that is eventful. I love that.
Yeah. So, what else is going on, guys?
Did you call 911 or did you go into a mosh pit? Did anything?
I don't know how to top either of these stories. But no, I've just been enjoying like the flexibility of like working for myself and not having anyone to report to. Mm-hmm. So my parents split from the cottage pretty early to like go visit my sister in Mississauga. And I was just working out on the dock, had finished my workout and was deciding
beautiful.
Thank you. And it looked, like deciding what I'm going to do for the rest of the day, essentially, and what time I'm going to drive home. Well, the neighbor's like, is it just you? Do you want to come on the boat today? And I was like, yes, I do. And I don't know these neighbors well, but I went on the boat with them. Ooh. And I brought some of my homemade muffins. I was like, I don't know what I have around the house here to bring on a boat, but here we go.
A muffin seems like a good idea.
Yeah. And I had a nice cruise. I ended up staying at the cottage an extra day because, you don't get invited on the boat every day. By the time I got home, I was like, I'm not driving home. I'm enjoying the sunset. And I just, honestly, it made life so chill. There was one dramatic part of my week last week, which I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow. We've had some drama in our baseball league, and there's this one grumpy ump that has been throwing people out. Caitlin, I was actually thinking about this from your sort of perspective as a parent, because basically a call had gone wrong and someone wanted to clarify something from the rule book, went up to the ump with complete respect. Hey, umpy, just a question. Don't argue with me. Like, this guy's just like power hungry. Yeah. You get paid $50 a game to, live your high life right now, sir, whatever. But he was so polite and respectful. And this guy ended up throwing him out in front of his daughter.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we had this last year as well. So
don't need it. Not cool.
Yeah, we're like thinking of switching leagues right now, but that's my baseball drama.
What a loser. Sometimes you just meet like an IRL loser, and it doesn't happen very often. Yeah. But when I do, I will just be like, you, sir, are a loser. There's no other word for it. It's loser behavior. That's crazy. Throwing someone out. I mean, kind of a fun story for the kid, though. Like, maybe. I don't know.
And he's like in front of my daughter, and he's like, get out. And then it's a public park that we play at too. So he was sitting on the bleachers with, some of the other people who came to watch, and the ump would not start the next play until he vacated the park. He made such a big deal of nothing.
Paul Blart. Oh my gosh, it's Paul Blart.
Like, I feel like it deserves to be a movie. It's so sad. Yeah, like it's
is.
Rec League, guys. This is Rec League baseball.
That's, I mean, capital P pathetic, but
yeah.
I mean that because you know what, one person can truly bum everyone out, and that kind of thing just like changes the mood when all you want to be doing is watching each other play baseball and like enjoying the lights and the summer night and all that stuff.
The daughter just wants to see dad hit a dinger. Like, stop. You know,
that's crazy.
So sad. Yeah. Anyway, so that's that we're gonna see what happens tomorrow. But he suspended, like the league suspended 2 of our players for that.
Okay. Well, I didn't know recreational baseball was kind of taking on this kind of vibe, but you know, I'm sorry to hear that. And to you, Mr. Umpire, I can only speculate what your social media looks like, because you're probably one of those guys that is vitriolic and hurling insults
he's
at
like
people
80
without even knowing the story.
Socials.
Well, it could be conspiracy theorist stuff going on. He's probably on Facebook, just buying in. He probably did ivermectin. Let me just rest my case.
I feel like his Facebook profile, and again, apologies if you're not on YouTube, but if I feel like his Facebook profile would be like this.
Oh, Caitlin.
Yeah.
You know the people who take the photo.
She's showing half her face.
She's like this.
Where you don't even know how to point a camera.
Like this.
Very true.
The Grumpire. The Grumpire's face.
Grumpire. Oh my God.
Well, that's too bad. He needs to lighten up.
While we are talking about your half face and how AI could have helped you to make a nice photograph for yourself for your Facebook page, Delta moves forward eliminating set prices in favor of AI that determines how much you personally will pay for a ticket. Do tell, because I fly so goddamn much, and this is very disconcerting.
No, this is dark days. And I figured we'd get here with AI where it's, you know, it's going to help some people in their lives and their jobs, but ultimately they're going to use it really quickly to figure out a way to price gouge. And so in much the same way that dynamic pricing is a thing that we're all familiar with for Uber and even for flights. Concerts, exactly. They're taking it a step further. And so the Delta CEO, and again, admitting this on its face, not concealing it in any way, says that currently Delta uses AI to book 3% of flights and to price and book. And so what they do is they assess all the information that they can pull from you, from your online presence off of your computer, your phone, or however you're accessing their site to book your flight. So they form like a profile, like a consumer profile about you, your spending habits, where you traffic, and they can pull together a pretty accurate look at you know, what you make and what you have spent on past flights. And so what you may spend on future flights. Yes. And they're saying they're already doing it with 3%. His goal is to have it by up to 20%. And he says, this is the new frontier of pricing for flights. It is not going to be a price based on everyone pays the same thing. It'll be that they formulate how much they guess you're willing to pay based on their AI model. And then that's what you're going to pay for your flights. It's crazy.
The price the algorithm thinks you will accept.
What you're willing to pay. Exactly.
Yeah. So crazy.
It's horrifying. It should be illegal.
So someone like me who flies a lot for work, I'm going to end up paying more for a ticket because they're going to see, oh, she flies a lot for business. She has to do this, and that.
Maybe your average spend.
She's in the music business, and this is what she paid for her ticket last time she went for Toronto. So Toronto's already expensive from Calgary.
Oh yeah.
I mean, sometimes it can be
for us
in economy. Yeah, it can be like $1,100 for economy ticket one way.
What?
Well,
it depends. It depends how far out you're booking, Sarah, as you know.
Yeah.
But if you're telling me that it doesn't matter if I'm 4 months out or 2 weeks out, that I could get dinged, you know, paying more just 'cause.
Yeah, you won't know, basically, because it's all shrouded behind this big cloud of secrecy. It's their AI, it's their algorithm. And I'm sure the more it's used and the more people study this type of charging, you'll figure out how they're doing it. I don't know enough to say how they build a consumer profile for each person or how they decide how do they decide what they think you're willing to pay? Is it based on past expenses? Is it based on the fact that, like, this is what they do? Sometimes you'll notice if you go to a site that aggregates a bunch of different flights and compares them, like Kayak or Expedia or whatever, literally if you use a Mac versus a PC, they'll sometimes there'll be a price difference in what they charge you. If you have visited luxury sites and you haven't cleaned the cookies out of your browser before. So if you went to like, Loewe or Dolce & Gabbana, or you don't buy anything at Walmart, like they start to formulate an idea of who you are and then what you may pay, what they could charge you. And this is, in my view, this is price gouging. Like that's just what it is. You're not deciding what the price of something is. You're just gouging people based on their maybe desperation to buy something. That's the other thing. What if they decide every year at Christmas, you go home to this location? So we know you want to do this and it's a priority for you. And so they're going to start gouging everyone at the holidays. They're going to gouge people for going back to see their families. Like that's what I think you open up the door to. So I think it should be illegal.
Then there's the user profile information that you give them willingly. So maybe they're collecting data, and like women age 40 plus are usually willing to spend and things like that too. So
it's creepy. I hate it.
Now, was it you guys that was saying that by 2035, AI, maybe it was one of the guys that invented it or had something to do with the development of AI, that by 2035, it's literally going to be eliminating a human workforce? Is that anything that could be possible?
Like altogether?
You're talking about just altogether. So instead of like a call center that might be in Sri Lanka or, you know, that when you're dealing with customer service, because they're doing that a lot now. There's call centers where they can get the manpower for so much less money.
Yes, absolutely.
And, but mind you, you know, all these people have jobs. So you have to think about what that does for those economies. But what this guy is basically saying is that there won't be, AI will do everything. I find AI difficult to talk to as it is now. Because when I cancel. Well, this is what I'm saying. Like I can't find, but if I have somebody, a thing that's listening, I've also got Alexa listening to me as well as Siri. No, I don't want to say anything right now. A couple weeks ago, I was in here talking about something and Alexa started singing happy birthday to me. I was laughing. I was just like, what is happening in here? Because the TV was on and she's singing happy birthday. I'm like, stop it. Anyway, I appreciated it because it's, you know, it's nice to have someone sing for you.
You know who sounds a lot like SIRI?
Yeah.
Stevie.
We're doing this.
Stevie. So when I say like when you when I call the dog, which I'm not going to do right now, I'm like, no, thank you, not interested.
Yeah. No thanks. Don't need your help right now. I mean, I find ChatGPT alarmingly useful. That's the one that really kind of sunk my battleship, because even I can't ignore how useful it is in just everything, in diagnosing weird bites I have on my butt from a fish or a turtle. Like it's actually. Did you put that into ChatGPT and you got the leech, right? First it said leech and then it said sunfish, and it decided on sunfish because in the photo you can see some of my red fingernails, and it said there are sunfish in the lake that you were in and they are attracted to bright colors. So the movement of your hands would have drawn the fish in. You might have swatted at it, done something, and it bit you. And
it had teeth.
It had teeth, which I don't think a turtle has teeth. I think it just has its little sort of like snout clomping around. So I don't know. But anyways, I think that the AI portion of the world, we cannot even begin to wrap our heads around how quickly this could change and what everything is going to look like. I mean, what will be expected of, I think, for Will? How will he be expected to learn? What will he be expected to keep up with? I mean, teachers use it, but they don't want I don't know what you're expected to know.
Will there be anything? Like, will kids need cursive? Will they ever need to put a pen to paper ever again?
We talk about cursive a lot on this show.
I know, but it's because I'm older than you guys.
I got cursive in school too.
Barely. You guys barely did.
Grade 3.
We did printing and proper cursive. Most people that are younger, like in their 30s and 40s, they can print. Cursive, ladies and gentlemen, for any of you young people that are listening, all two of you, it is the joining of letters seamlessly. You do not lift your pen from the paper. It's like if you're spelling friend, you just go from the F to the R, you know, it doesn't, you don't lift your pen off. Printing is like F, R, you know, it doesn't.
Yeah. Do you journal in cursive or printing?
I journal in both. So it looks insane.
A little mix and match.
Okay, there's someone coming in my gate right now. Who could it be? It is a big truck. Oh no, it's construction people. All those poor people are coming to fix my driveway and it's raining. Anyway, enough about that. Well, the rain is making a ditch in my driveway.
Oh,
like
really?
it's literally cutting through my drive and making this huge gap. That's how much rain we've had here. So I sent them a picture and I'm like, I don't want this getting any bigger. So I guess they're here to fix that. It's, country living. Anyway, what does any of this have to do with my girlfriend? I don't know.
We
I
haven't
don't
brought her
know.
up and it's already been a half hour.
God, it's been 30 minutes. We haven't said anything about her, but that's okay. We'll just move on. What else do you got,
when are
Caitlin?
you? I actually do want to know when you guys are getting back together, like around.
I will
Do you guys...
see her on the 31st of July.
Nice.
I'm
okay,
going for
great.
her birthday for like 48 hours. And then I fly.
Iceland?
Yep. I'm going to go up for her birthday. And then I fly from there to Vancouver, and I'm working on a short film called Hot Chocolate that was written by a couple of friends of mine, and it's hilarious. There was a very popular Hollywood actress that was slated to play my part, and she just couldn't do it. And to no fault of her own, something came up, yada, yada. But anyway, I think it was Andie MacDowell, to be honest. But I'm now going to be her. I'm going to play this part. So I'm really excited about it. So I'm going to go there and spend 3 days filming Hot Chocolate. I love art and I love film, and I love when independent artists get together and raise money and do these kinds of things. So I think I'm going to be picking some clothes from my closet or going to Value Village, one of the two, because I just got the, I guess the tear sheet, you'd say, for the costume ideas. And it's sort of like Mrs. Roper meets my mother in 1975 with muumuus on the beach and lots of accessories and scarves in your head and stuff like that. So I'm very glad. I will not be wearing form-fitted clothing whatsoever.
You know,
like
what
a
I thought
coastal
of?
grandmother. And is the movie set in the Is the movie set in the 70s?
I think it's set in the late 90s or the early
90s.
2000s.
Okay, I like this.
We might have to bring back Jan's real bachelorette in Value Village. Just saying.
It's true. Never rule it out.
No, you know what? I'm all in. I'm all in for that, for a bachelorette party in Value Village.
I would love to bring that to fruition so badly.
No one would like to bring that to fruition more than me. So you never know. And I'd like to have Thordis back on the show because, we were speaking today. She put up a video yesterday called Bravery because we talked about when I was in Banff.
Yeah.
We were holding hands and a guy said, brave. Well, I've been waiting for what her response was, and she's obviously been thinking about it. She's on holidays in Sweden.
She wrote a poem.
And she wrote kind of this really cool beat poem, and she had all these really cool pictures that she had of us. She checked with me first. This is a woman that deals with consent laws and advises Nordic governments about consent laws on the internet. Like, this is the type of work that she does with her foundation. Like, absolutely really important and very brilliant work. Like, she's brilliant. I'm just going to say that. She would be brilliant if I wasn't in love with her. She's very smart and very accomplished. I digress. But anyway, she wrote this poem. She checked with me first. She sent it to me. She said, can I post this? And will you be a collaborator? I said, absolutely. And it was really cool about commenting on anybody going down the street, commenting to anyone out loud in a public place that they're brave is very mixed messages. I mean, even if you don't mean anything by it, it's still what the poem was is that, no, you're saying that we're not normal and that what we're doing is an act of defiance. But, anyways, it was really great. And the comments have been so nice and so supportive. I haven't read all of them because there's a lot, but it was really cool to be. But anyway, I'd love to have her back on the show just to talk about consent
for sure
on the internet and what how much of your children, like Caitlin, how much of Will do you put on the internet? When does his decision making kind of like, does he say 5, no, mommy, I don't want that picture on there? Or like, how does that look for all of us? Like posting pictures of our friends.
Tracy Moore was telling me that, like, with her kids, she doesn't post anything without she gets actual approval from her kids. They're teenagers now, right?
Right.
And
I think that's what I think that's what Gwyneth Paltrow did as well. And you would see like the kids' faces covered. And I have some friends who are like, kind of public-y figures and they have kids. And it is a conversation that at some point you have. Yeah. And I have friends who are superstitious and they're from kind of like, maybe Greece or Italy or, the background, and they all keep telling me that someone has to gift Will an evil eye because they're like
to protect him.
To protect him, because they're like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. He's going to attract so much attention, and you don't want any negative attention. And I was like, okay, I'll order him an evil eye. And they were like, no, someone has to send it to you. It has to be a gift. That's really like how it works. So I was like, okay. So I'm like sitting here waiting for one of my like Greek friends to send me an evil eye. But no, I do think about it. And I think it's a fascinating conversation. I remain pretty curious about all of it. Like, cause I don't know. I've been comfortable, but I live in a world where like, I do think I don't have a lot of followers. Like I'm kind of like micro on that side. And a lot of them, I think I know, and I can see their profiles, and I can see our DM history, and they're just the sweetest people, and they're predominantly women. And so I feel like if I had a larger, like a more mixed following of men and women, it would start to feel probably a little more unsafe. But I've definitely wondered about it. So I would love to hear Thordis's thoughts, because she has 3 kids.
Yeah, we'll have her on. Yeah.
I just DM'd her about her twins because she posted about them. They were on vacation, and it was the two of them lying side by side together. And I just was like, what a special bond, twins would have. And they obviously went through so much at the start of their life that I was like, oh my gosh, my heart just exploded. She was like, they'll either explode your heart or your patience. It's like one or the other.
Also,
go ahead.
On the topic of PDA, I just think like the hand holding thing is so interesting in the realm of this Coldplay conversation.
Oh yeah.
Because I think hand holding is such like a small drop in the bucket, compared to
let's talk about this. Let's back this up a bit, Sarah.
Yeah.
And set up the Coldplay thing, because if you were on holidays or something and you weren't doing your social media, this is what's happened last week. So please tell the story.
I feel like everyone, including the Umpire, knows about this Coldplay CEO story.
Okay, well, explain it anyway.
Yeah. The quick notes on it is that two people very high up in a company called, was it Astronomer?
Yeah, it's an AI company.
Wow.
It's an AI startup.
They were seen like, the guy was behind her with his arms around her. They get caught on.
He was the CEO of the company, was he not?
Yeah.
He was the CEO, and she was the head of HR.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they
HR.
get caught.
Exactly.
The plot
They get
thickens.
caught on the big screen, and they duck away immediately. Like it was like a
those
visceral
kiss
reaction.
cams, folks. The kiss cams when the band is playing and the cameraman who's shooting Coldplay randomly pans up to the audience.
Yes.
Caught these two people in an embrace that was very romantic. They both immediately ducked. They went down when they saw themselves on the Jumbotron. Continue.
He stopped, dropped, and rolled, and it was between songs because Chris Martin was doing crowd work. So he actually had the mic and had an opportunity when he saw the man specifically drop off camera and lie on the ground. He said, "Well, those two are either very shy or they're having an affair." So this clip goes viral. Not that anyone at the moment knew they were having an affair, but just that it was a very odd thing to capture. And someone on social media who was attending the concert simply posted it because it looked very funny. And then this viral moment happens.
Yes. And this is where, this has been the talk of like dinner tables, social media circles, memes galore, like it doesn't matter. It is being talked about everywhere. And it's quite sad how much it's taken over the internet. It's certainly masking some of the more important things going on right now. And the unfortunate part, which we didn't mention, is that both of these people are married with children.
She's
with
not
other people.
actually, as it turns out.
Oh, okay.
She's 2 years divorced or separated or what have you. But he was married and does have 2 children. Yeah.
Okay. So, it's just, these families are now going through this very publicly. And it's also, I was thinking about the media literacy conversation that we've had a million times. It's been very hard to determine what is actually true facts coming out of the story. Like, which statement is true? There's been like 40. I've seen so many. I don't know which is true.
So one of the statements was made by, and it was made by an account at CBS News. One thing I would say is a lot of the accounts that are fake, at least on Twitter, you can tell that they're fake again because like the person who posted it was saying that they were a reporter, but their handle was P Enos, like Ennis. It was penis. So it was like fully like a joke, like prank call name that a kid would come up with. But the statement was infuriating and it was fake and it was designed to rage bait people into engaging with it. And it was satire and people thought it was real. I thought it was real for a minute. I had a lot of people send it to me because I was posting about it on my stories, the whole story. And then everyone was like, have you seen the statement? And I was like, it's been debunked. But they waited too long to release an official statement from the company, in my view, because of how quickly the story caught wildfire. They waited like days and days. And so then all the fake stuff comes out.
But they're doing legal work, Caitlin. I think they're going through the proper motions. That's why there is a delay in statements like that. They're literally doing their footwork to cover their own asses. So I think there's a real legal aspect to releasing names and all that.
I think they can just say like they can just say like we don't, these aren't we don't have a statement at this time. He doesn't have a statement at this time. Any statements you're seeing are false. Would have been like, but they're a small company. Like, I'm not blaming them. I just think that's why
I think they were I think it was so big and it caught them so unaware that they were checking with legal just to what do we do? And most companies hire triage people to deal with media and to deal with the fallout of something like that happening. Obviously it was personal. Were they on company time at a Coldplay concert? I doubt it. I think they were just there on their own time. And so does that affect the company? Like there's all those questions as well. Should he be let go from a company? Like all these things, all these questions. I mean, it's cancel culture, right? It's
she's resigned.
Culture once again.
He's resigned and she's on leave. And and I mean, I don't know how you, in my mind, in good conscience, as the head of HR, ever sit across the table from anyone or partake in a meeting on propriety ever again. I don't know how you could possibly say we have certain standards. You can't. You're done. I mean, if she tried to sit me down in a meeting and I'm an employee and she's like, well, this breaks the employee handbook, I'd be like, shut the hell up. So she can't do that. You had a knowing affair with a married man with 2 children who is your CEO. And then he did the same thing with his head of HR. Like both of you are such a liability to a company. If I'm a shareholder or I'm even more senior than them, you're gone. You're gone the next day. Like for me. And that's just because you have to protect your company, its assets and its vision. And they made a huge they made a bad choice, as I would say to Will. You've made a bad choice.
Will the company survive? I mean, not that I care, but this is not a problem that's just indigenous to those 2 individuals. I mean, this is something that happens every second of every day. And, when you have an affair, you risk being caught. They say that you're caught on camera if you're in an urban area, something like 118 times a day now.
So true.
So that has gone up double in the last 5 years of how many times people are caught on camera because there's so many more cameras. And not to say, at a concert where everyone's got their phone and you're bound to run into somebody, like you have to think these things through. I would advise don't have an affair. If you're unhappy in your marriage, please talk to your partner and get a separation. Don't put your kids through that stuff. I'll right here, right now, for the record, I've been in, 5 or 6 very serious relationships in my life, like adult grown up ass relationships in 35 years. And I have never, ever once had any kind of slip up or been with somebody else while I'm in a relationship. And I wasn't even like legally married. And that doesn't mean anything. But I never would. And it wasn't because of a lack of opportunity. I literally said, I'm with somebody and this is not a good idea.
Yeah.
So just saying.
The IT part of this is interesting too, because in companies like that, they have like an app on your phone that if you're using a company cell phone, they should be essentially monitoring that stuff. And that's why you wouldn't send messages that are lovey-dovey to someone who's also in that group of people. My ex-boyfriend was an IT person, so I used to hear some stories about what he was tracking. And it's just interesting to think of like how it got that far, that it was on display. Also, no Jumbotron will ever be the same. At the Jays game last night, they poked fun at this. And I was like, oh my God.
So I think this speaks to like the lifespan of a viral story. Now, no one wants to become a main character of the internet. And I'm sure this has obviously like negatively impacted all of their lives. But I will say people tire of this in about a week. About a week later from one of these stories hitting and trending, you are so oversaturated with it on all fronts that you're just like, I'm sick of it. And now I think appropriately so, everyone's like, okay, time's up on this, lol. And also, why did this grab everyone's attention? Like, why did everyone grab everyone's attention so much more than other things that are happening in the world that are more important? And I just think it's because it's like your brain tries to make room for everything, but there's something about salaciousness, and there's something about someone being objectively an idiot caught on camera, almost like a gotcha moment. Like it did have all of these makings for a really viral story. And yeah, and of course it also featured Chris Martin from Coldplay. Like,
so yeah,
saying out loud they're either really shy or having an affair. Like, these stories don't come along every day, but I am happy to see it wind down, because like there are real people involved and people have like lost their jobs. And but I think Chris Martin, I think Coldplay, I was waiting to see if they were going to do anything with it. Like, I'm like, are they going to do anything with this, or are they going to stay away from it?
Chris Martin maybe is taking someone to lunch and saying, I'm really sorry about that.
Like the wife.
Yeah, like the real wife. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Did him and Gwyneth Paltrow not have affairs outside of their marriage?
Well, that's also interesting to
Like,
consider.
I feel like
there
Chris
was
Martin
rumors.
did have that he had an extramarital affair, and it was one of the defining moments for Gwyneth Paltrow that she wanted out of the relationship. That's something that I read, but you know, like you said, Caitlin, there's a million different versions of these stories.
I mean, I thought to myself, like, the man knew an affair when he saw one. he saw that and thought, oh, I've been in either in his own situations or in Hollywood long enough to know when two people are behaving sketchily. And so he did just genuinely call it out. I mean, it's the funniest thing from the guy who was the midst of what do they call it? Conscious uncoupling. That was how him and Gwyneth referred to the dissolution of their marriage, was a conscious uncoupling. So I don't know, but I got a kick out of it. And then I was like, I'm kind of done with it.
Yeah.
I just feel sad. But yeah, we had one more story we sort of wanted to cover in the pop culture world too, with what's happening with Stephen Colbert.
Oh my God. Talk about cancel culture.
I can't speak to this because I really don't know that much about it. I know whatever. Go ahead. I'm not even going to. Somebody grab this, because it's sad that a political satirist, which was once heralded as a very important part of freedom, democracy in any country, that you could poke fun at. The government that was in power, that you could say things in a public forum and not be living in any kind of fear that you would be removed from that position. It sounded very Russian and very, very Cold War-ish. So somebody grab this.
Do you want to give the background?
Yeah, his show has been canceled. So Stephen Colbert's show has been canceled, and his show is far and away the #1 late night show. Now, late night shows in general are struggling compared to how they used to be doing. I mean, they no longer run live shows on Friday nights anymore. There have been changes. So to say that it's a healthy financial environment, it wouldn't be 100% accurate.
I think I read 500 million. It was costing 500 million to produce one episode.
Oh my God! Okay,
500 million?
Mm-hmm. I don't think that could be right.
No,
I don't think that's right.
There was a 500 number. Let me find it. Hold on.
Okay. But so anyways, all to say, he was #1 of the lot. Of the remaining late night guys, he's #1. And like by a significant amount. So this is strange. Then he has long been obviously a critic of Donald Trump on his show, and Paramount owns CBS now. And so Paramount settled with the Trump administration over a claim that they were making against one of CBS's news outlets. And so Stephen Colbert goes on the show and referred to Paramount's settlement as, quote, a big fat bribe. This was on the air on Monday of last week. And he said, as someone who's always been a proud employee of this network, I'm offended. I don't know if anything will repair my trust in this company, but just taking a stab at it, I'd say 16 million would help. That's the amount that the settlement was for with the Trump administration. So his show was nixed shortly thereafter. They're saying it's a business decision. Every single person in Hollywood is saying they're silencing him. They're saying it's going to be canceled coming up in 2026. So now Stephen Colbert is like running with the don't give a fuck on his show, and he truly is saying whatever he wants. The other late night hosts have come on his show to show their support. It's same with Andy Cohen, same with Anderson Cooper, and even the Writers Guild of America has requested that the New York Attorney General investigate what they're calling potential wrongdoing after this cancellation. They're saying it's a politically motivated cancellation. So for all the like Trump noise from his supporters about cancel culture, this is literally cancel culture. This is they canceled his show because he said something they didn't like.
Yeah.
And like for there to be that much control over it. And I mean,
Scary.
this is like wham Trump, right? Every time something like this happens, whether it's in television, Hollywood, Epstein files, like whatever Trump wants to control about the public hearing about something, he's doing it.
Yes.
So, but yeah, there are both sides. An interesting rant I saw on this, Dave Portnoy, the head of Barstool Sports, he was going on a rant saying like this show, like let's look at the financials, which is he's a money guy. He's like, it's bleeding, right? And even in the #1 rating spot, it is bleeding money. And so
terrestrial television is dying.
Yes.
Yeah, and the three of us were actually talking about this morning. Like Conan O'Brien is a great example. Like podcasts have taken this late show model, and instead of getting 8 minutes, you're going to get a full half hour, right? To have a great conversation. Jen, you know how it is when you have a guest on here. You had 40 minutes with Rosie fucking O'Donnell, not an 8-minute segment, right? Like,
I know.
So that's where the power of podcasting is taking over these things. And even though it still can be expensive to run a proper podcast, which we talk about here all the time too, and we don't even have like an in-person shoot set up, but it's much more economical for Conan to do that than it is to have like I'm pretty sure Colbert has a 200-person staff. So imagine the cost per episode with 200 people on staff.
And what's our staff? 3?
3.5 maybe?
3.5.
3.75.
Do we count Stevie?
Yeah,
Stevie
we got
Poppy.
Stevie. We have Poppy.
The business model isn't working, and I think that's a valuable and a worthwhile point to make. The timing is beyond suspect, and it's because it's sort of it's not time to move things around. It's not happening on other shows which are further in the red than his is. And because there's such a loud, obvious attempt at silencing detractors of the Trump administration happening across all fronts, I just think it's a bit of a where there's smoke, there's fire. And so I do kind of believe that. I do believe that there's something sneaky here. I just happen to think that way. And I do think that even here in Canada, you would be, if you're a viewer of legacy media, really keep track of what outlets are even including news anymore. Really keep track of what outlets are even paying attention to things that are happening in your community, and even paying attention to holding politicians accountable, and especially holding big organizations and big companies accountable. Because if you think that you're just getting dog video after dog video after dog video on your news programming all of a sudden, you're right. Like it is an effort. It's not just accidental. It's like it's a concerted effort happening.
And as much as we love Jan and the girlfriend story, we had a CTV reporter reach out to us last week, looking to cover this story. And I was like, okay, so this is news now. Like, and granted, it's a lovely story.
It is really nice.
But it's like when our newsrooms are just evaporating, this is where I'm like, I don't know how I feel about all this.
Yeah. Well, you made a good point too, Sarah. You said, I think this girl's 19 years old. She was hitting us up on every social media.
We got a few
DM.
different. Yeah.
You got one. Thordis also got one from her.
Okay.
And she
really?
just directed her to the Jann Arden podcast. She's like, what
she
podcast
said,
is that on?
Yeah, what podcast is that on?
I'm like, well, that
starts with
journalism.
Jan.
Journalism's a funny thing, because that would be like the first clue that you need to unlock is it's the Jann Arden podcast. Like it's not the Colbert show. I wasn't on Letterman. Like she didn't even have a jump off point. And no, I'm not trying to poke fun at you at all, but maybe it's just overlooking the obvious. So I'm going to give you a little bit of slack there. But and you were dazzled by our beauty and by the story.
Yeah.
But anyway,
really nice
we were all smiling. I'm still smiling. I'm smiling right now.
It's cute. And I love a lighthearted human interest story. I'm Madame Reality TV. I like a break from all of it as well. I just think that you can sandwich some real content in there along with the stuff that makes everyone feels good and that you need to enjoy your life. And I think that there's such a hollowing out of that. Hence why people are listening to podcasts more, because they're getting a mix of both. They are bonding with the hosts in a way that I don't think they're allowed to do, because everyone who you see on TV now is so like closely manufactured and so closely monitored. And there's like 10 layers of imaging that goes through all of their stuff. And I just think everyone, like, they want that real connection with people they listen to.
And speaking of which, we have some love from our listeners.
I love this.
We always like to finish the show with voice notes. Once again, we have no idea what people are going to say to us. It could be anything.
Okay, let's play a couple of these. And I also I have an email from a listener that I want to read as well. Okay, let's start here.
Hi, Jann. Just loved your podcast this morning. It so resonated with me. I'm 77, and after being widowed for a number of years, somebody stepped into my life from my past, and I'm glowing. I'm happy. I can't stop myself from just wanting to dance. It's a beautiful experience, and I can really resonate with what you said today. My story is quite unique. It's someone from my past. Let's just say, and I'll leave it at that. Ex-nun re-meets ex-priest from my past. Anyway, it's a great life. Thank you so much. Bye.
Did she say ex-nun meets ex-priest?
Ex-priest.
I love this so much.
She buried the lead. Like, start with the nun and priest.
Oh my God, that's so random.
So a nun, a priest, and a...
Listen, a nun and a priest walk into I don't know what.
Congratulations. And I can feel you dancing from here. We all can. So congratulations and embrace it. If you have a chance for joy and love, my God, the world needs it. There's a cosmic thing happening. I think if everyone was in love on this planet, no one would be fighting.
I agree.
Okay, here's another.
Hi, Jan, Caitlin, and Sarah. It's Mattia from Prince George, British Columbia again. I just wanted to come on and share some simple, sweet love with you guys, all three of you. Jan, first of all, I'm so excited for you for finding your love and being able to give and receive because you deserve it all. And I also went to your show in Calgary, and it was so amazing. And I looked for the Louis Vuitton shoes, and they're on point, my girl. Caitlin, to you, thank you for recommending Intermezzo. It was like a 16-hour audio listen for me, and it is amazing. And I'm hoping to chip in when we meet on Patreon. And Sarah.
Oh, she got cut off at Sarah.
And Sarah, let me finish what she's saying. You are amazing. I love your smile. And I've really learned a lot about baseball from you. So that's
nice.
Guys, quick thing on Intermezzo. So I've also been listening to the audiobook for this one.
I'm also listening to Intermezzo on audio. I've got 7 hours to go.
Let me just give you a little piece of advice. Don't put that on a smart speaker when it gets into the sexy scenes and your mom and dad are around. I was like, we're gonna turn this off.
They're like, not back to the Mosh parking
Maybe they'll get some.
I just don't want to have that experience with the three of us together. It was bad enough that I had to watch American Pie with them when I was younger. I hated that experience more than anything. It was terrible.
Oh, no.
Okay, we have one more voice note here.
Would you believe that this is my third attempt at trying to send this voice note? Hi, you guys. It's Danny Kind. Hi, Jan. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, Danny.
I just saw the recall episode, and I gave it a listen again, and we had recorded it a couple of years ago, and it was so nice to listen to. And I was so touched that you guys pulled it up again. I always have so much fun when I come on, and so it made me so happy to listen to, and I just wanted to send you guys some love. I think all three of you are just so intelligent and so funny, and I think you just bring so much joy to people's homes and ears and hearts, and I hope you're having the most beautiful summer. I know Jann Arden is. Okay, send you guys so much love.
That was cute.
I love Danny.
So, Danny, she is a force, that girl. I mean, director, producer, writer, actor. She just directed a video for the Strumbellas. So
I saw that.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, if you get a chance to go on YouTube or wherever you watch your favorite videos, Vivo, whatever the case may be, it is a friggin' cool video.
Yeah. And I think that was her first time doing a music video.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just amazing. Thank you, Danny. Listen, that was our show.
One note.
Oh, no, our email. Sorry.
That's okay. So Lee Ann Edwards wrote us. Jan, just wanted to say how genuinely happy I am for you and your new relationship. You've been such a meaningful part of my life for many years. Your music, your words, your humor, they've all helped me through countless chapters. I've seen you at least 10 times now. Every show stays with me. One of my first concerts ever was yours in Sarnia, Ontario. I recently got to see you again in London with some old co-workers at Centennial Hall. We had so much fun. And thank you for signing my vinyl. That meant more than I can say. My partner Natalie and I still play your vinyl often. Your songs have filled our home during so many special and everyday moments, and I've made sure that much younger coworkers at the Apple Store know exactly how important you are. A true Canadian icon, an absolute staple. And then there's this other part. She says, I wanted to share a memory extra close to my heart. Years ago, Natalie surprised me with a birthday message from you. My dad saw it and was convinced I was famous because you knew my name. He proudly told everyone. He passed away a few years ago, and that moment is now one of my most cherished memories. Still brings a smile to my face, along with a few tears.
I'll tell you what, words are important. And words are important. And I'm just really sorry. Cancel.
One more cancel for the road.
One more cancel to Siri for the road.
So something that we're going to bring into the show here, it's called Ask Jann. Caitlin, I want you to explain this a little bit because we would love for you to send us in a voice note with some of the Ask Jann moments.
What about Ask Caitlin and Ask Sarah?
We're going to be here for it.
Yeah, we'll chime in, but like Ask Jann has a fun ring to it. So I just think that I bet you there are people listening who would love to ask Jann for advice on a burning dilemma or situation in their life, because we've done the Ask Us Anything episodes in the past, and you're certainly welcome to ask us anything at any time, but I really think it would be fun to hone in on getting Jann's tip on maybe it's
I'm ready.
Just tell them to fuck their eye socket. I can see it now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
How do you deal with haters? Enter Jann. What do you do for dating advice? Enter Jann. Like, we'll figure out something, but I think it's pretty good. And like Sarah and I will chime in, especially if it's about reality TV. I will say, good luck keeping me away. But like we all will have our own like lane, but I think this would be really fun. And I just love hearing the voices of our listeners so much. And we're just really lucky to have such special listeners and such a great connection with them. So more of that.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Great.
So I'm ready.
Ask Jann,
I will do my best.
And if you're not comfortable leaving a voice note, like send us, there's a contact section on our website, jannardenpod.com. Of course, you can DM us, and we're gonna start putting out some stuff on socials that you can just comment on, and we'll collect your comments too.
For sure.
Ask Jann.
And thank you to all our Patreon listeners, because our Patreon, and thank you to Thordis Elva, because she has helped us, push those numbers up. I think people have been so genuinely curious about this story that we suddenly have, this little surge of Patreon, but they
want the tea.
They do. Oh my gosh, I had breakfast with Marilyn Dennis yesterday, and she was asking about the relationship, and she was like, well, who is she? And I kind of gave her like the Reader's Digest backstory, and then she was like, well, I want to see a picture. And so I showed her, and she goes, oh my God, she's so beautiful. She goes, she's so beautiful. I was like, she is. And she was like,
who, me?
Well, Dan.
Me, right?
Yeah, she was like, Jann's obviously gorgeous too. And she was like, oh my goodness. I was like, yeah, she's the steely gaze. Oh boy. So people want this content. They love it. It's on Patreon.
Try looking at that face from 2 inches away. I'll tell you what.
Hilariously, like at your Massey Hall show, you weren't out of the bag yet, but you had dedicated a song to Thordis on stage. You remember this? So like I
remember. I was a wreck. I was a fucking nervous wreck.
So I had like quietly told my dad what was going on. Because I'm like, you're going to meet her after, just, keep it cool. So he's like smacking my leg. I'm like, Dad, you need to keep your cool. Like he was also just very happy for you. And it was really
smacking
very sweet.
your leg. There she is.
There she is.
It's her. Well, it was more like, oh my God, she's dedicating a song to her.
Well,
oh my God.
She's been getting DMs like, hi, I was sitting 4 rows behind you at Jann's Massey show. And I thought, maybe that's someone. And then I saw your picture. Like, we are getting DMs that are so charming and so hilarious. And I knew it. I knew there was something going on when I saw the podcast. Like, people are just like, I could see the way you guys were interacting. I'm like, well, I was trying to be as cool as a cucumber. Do you know what I'm saying? But apparently, oh Lord. Anyway, I can't stop smiling. Sweet. I'm going to say goodbye now. We got Patreon to do. Thank you to all our listeners, Patreon and otherwise. We appreciate you so much. Once again, Caitlin and Sarah, 2 of the very, very best. I'm so fortunate to be working with these women week after week, and I'm proud of the show and proud of us. We will see you next time. Subscribe, give us a review. It helps other listeners find us on the big World Wide Web. We'd appreciate that. And once again, a big shout out to all our sponsors, past and present. We appreciate it so much. We love keeping the wheels on this bus, and we will will see you on the other side of in Patreon if you're going to stay with us today. And if not, we'll see you next week. We've got lots of things to look forward to, some live events, and of course we will we'll introduce Intermezzo. You still have time. You still have 16 hours to listen to that book. Go drive around the neighborhood. Yeah, it's you can still listen to it. No, I'm kidding, but I'm not really kidding. It's a big book. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening. Toodly-doo.